Hi guys, Alex Underwood here and welcome back to my channel, my aliens. Today I have this sunset colored smoky eye for you and some checkerboard eyeliner. This eyeliner was very difficult for me to do. I am not really good when it comes to small details on the eye, so it was definitely a challenge for me to try this eye look. If you guys want to recreate it, it is definitely going to take some practice, so do not get discouraged because there were a few times I almost gave up in the middle of this eye look. But if you push through, you can do it. I believe in all of you. But if you want to learn how to do this fun, colorful, and I don't know, checkerboard are pretty popular now, so if you want to learn how to do this popular look, I'd say, go ahead and stay tuned. To start out, I went ahead and put some primer all over my lids, and now I am putting my foundation all over them. This is my Kat Von D Lock It Foundation in shade Light 45 Warm, and I'm just putting this all over the lid so these shadows have something to stick to and so that it helps make them look more pigmented. Next, I'm going in with Glucose from the Jeffree Star Bloodsugar palette, and I am just marking out where the checkerboard liner is going to go because it's a lot harder to make it white after you put shadow down, so I want to make sure that I block out where it's going to be so I don't get colored shadow there, and so it's easier to make it white later on, and it's just going to help add that color in there. Next, I am going in with shade Area 51 from the Jeffree Star Alien palette, and I am just putting this right up against where that white ends. This is kind of like the crease almost because I took that liner up pretty far, so we are right into the crease with this purple shadow. And I'm just packing that color on, making sure it's pigmented. Next, I am going in with a little bit lighter purple. This is shade Root Canal from the Jeffree Star Bloodsugar palette, and I am just using that to help transition up into the other colors from that dark purple. So we're packing this all over where that dark purple was, making sure that we leave some of the darker purple showing, but so it does start to transition into that lighter purple above. Next, I'm going in with a mixture of shade biiiiitch from the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette, and I'm going in with Cavity from the Jeffree Star Bloodsugar palette. And I am just mixing those together, helping blend that lighter purple out into the skin a little bit more, and then we're going to go in with some other colored shades after that starts being more cohesively blended. And just going back and forth with the colors, making sure that you're getting the payoff and the pigmentation that you want from them, and that they're really popping and being super bold. And remember, I am packing on the shadows first and then blending out to make sure that we get the color we want, and then we can fade it out a little bit more along the edges as we go. There's lots of back and forth with these shades, of course, so you want to make sure you go back and forth until you get the exact color and transition that you want. Next, I'm going in with an orange shade. This is shade Charm from the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette, and I'm using that as one of the most outermost colors that helps blend into the skin. I'm putting this all above where we put the pink shades, blending it in, of course, dragging it really far onto the inner corner and the outer corner so we really get that orange pigmentation that we want. And then I'm also blending it into a yellow shade. I am taking shade Quench from the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette, and I am using that to blend out the edges even more. I am using that on the very most outer corner and on the inner corner where we're going to be putting a highlight, and that's just to help the orange transition into our skin tone a little bit easier. But still, of course, keeping those bright, poppy colors, because that's exactly what we want. We don't want the shades to get blended away so they don't look super colorful. We want them to show their full pigmented color that they have. Next, I'm going in with a white liner. This is the Too Faced Sketch Marker liner in shade Pure White. Now, these aren't the best felt tip liners I've ever used. They're kind of streaky, so I'm just using this to get a base color down, and then we're going to go in with some paints later on to make the white more of a pigmented white rather than just like kind of a sheer white, because we don't really want it to be sheer, we want it to be pigmented, but we will worry about that later on. We are just mapping out the basic shape and making sure that there is somewhat of a color down underneath everything before we move on to the black part of the checkerboard. And then of course I don't really like how the opacity of that white was showing up, so I just put down a little bit of white shadow on top of it just to cover any areas that were not as white as I wanted them to be. So I just used Glucose from the Jeffree Star Bloodsugar palette to do that. And I just went back and forth between that liner and the white shadow until I had the payoff that I wanted to start off with before I moved on to the other color. Next, I'm going in with my Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in shade Trooper, and I am just outlining the top of the liner so it does have some sort of an outline over it, so it has that stark line that a liner would have, because the white wasn't really giving us that line that you would get with liner. It was more, well, it wasn't doing its job at all, might I say. And I know I'm pulling on my eye here. I really do not suggest doing that. That's not good for your eyes or your skin at all, but I was getting frustrated because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, so I went ahead and pulled my skin there. But I do not suggest trying that if you try this eye look, because you will get wrinkles if you do that, and that's not fun. So I'm just going in and putting the little vertical lines for the checkerboard at this point. I'm not filling out the main checkerboard at this point. I'm just going in with those little black lines, making sure that they're gonna be somewhat evenly spaced out apart and straight. You wanna make sure they're very straight. And I took that all the way up into the wing. That eyeliner wasn't working as well for me as I wanted it to, so I decided to switch it up and start using the Jeffree Star Liquid Lip in shade Weirdo as my black paint, so to speak. So I went over those lines a little bit so they were more pigmented because they were kind of sheer before, so I'm just going in with this liquid lipstick instead. These are eye safe, so that's why I suggest using them. Yeah, I'm just going over those lines once more, and then I went ahead and did the center line with this to kind of separate where the two rows of the checkerboard is going to be. And then I went ahead and started filling in every other black one on the top and bottom to start creating that checkerboard effect that we want. Next, I'm going in with my Mehron face paint set, and I am taking the white paint from that set and I'm using that to make the white sections more white because the eyeliner was not doing what I wanted it to do. So I am just filling in all those squares that I want to be white one more time with this white color, and then I'm just going to go back and forth with the black and the white paints until I get the correct shape for the checkerboard and get those lines as straight and perfect as I want them to be. There's not much way to describe exactly how to create this checkerboard pattern, so I suggest looking at reference images like I did to help show you where you need to put certain lines, certain colors in order to get that illusion going. So of course, just going back and forth, making sure to clean up those lines and create that checkerboard effect that you want to go on your eyeliner. And it did take quite a bit of time for me to get that effect that I wanted. I was struggling a little bit, but I did pull through and bring the look together. So don't get distressed or worried if you're having trouble with it. It takes so much practice to get this kind of eyeliner done. So, and it does take lots of time too. This did not take me like 10 minutes. It took me quite a bit of time to get the exact look that I wanted for this checkerboard liner. Next, I am going in with my Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer, and I'm just putting that all over my face so my foundation has something to stick to. And then I'm going in with my Kat Von D Then I'm going in with my Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation in shade Light 45 Warm, and I'm just beating that all over my face. My camera did cut out before I put on my concealer, so I just went ahead and put on my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in shade Fair, and I only put that under my eyes to sort of draw the eye in and brighten that area up. I'm going in all over my face with my RCMA No Color Powder, and I am just setting all of that beautiful foundation work that we just did. And now I'm going to contour my face using my Benefit Hoola Bronzer, using the brush that comes in the package to carve out those cheeks and jawbone and forehead, and then I blend it out once I get the payoff of the pigmentation of the contour that I want. I really wanted to cut those cheeks today because, you know, when don't I? I'm going ahead and putting blush on my cheekbones and my nose. This is the Tarte blush in shade Party. Next, I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit and taking shade White Sand all over the high planes of my face, on my cheekbones, nose, inner corner, under my brow, nose, and on my Cupid's bow, just making sure that that is nice, pigmented, and blinding. Next, I'm going in under my eye. I'm going in with shade Charmed and Quench, what I used on the very outermost part of the eye on the top, and I am just blending Charmed right near my lash line and then blending out the edges with that yellow Quench to kind of help transition into the skin a little bit more. This helped draw out the orange on the top of the eye a little bit more, and of course added more pop of color underneath the eye. I went ahead and put on my Tarte lip paint in shade Birthday Suit all over my lips and added my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara along with 2 pairs of Ardell wispies on my eyes to complete the eye look and make it look more full and fabulous.
Oh my gosh, I love this look. It was so hard. I am having a hard time talking today because it's like Monday, so I'm like, my head's a little spacey, but I love how this makeup turned out, and I hope you guys recreate it because it is so fun and so cute and colorful and like graphic-y. It's like graphic liner, and I love it to death. My sister actually told me to do purple and orange eye makeup, so this is like a purple to pink to orange eye makeup look with this checkerboard liner because she likes checkerboard, so I was like, I might as well do that. And I saw it somewhere, so I was like, that sounds like a fun idea. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learning how to do this look, or just hanging out with me, because you know, I do what I can to be funny, but sometimes, you know, we'll see. I actually am planning on starting a vlogging series going on here soon about my life in Chicago and all the things I do in class and outside of class. I had one person told me that it was a good idea, so I think I'm gonna do it, and those are gonna be going up somewhat soon. I'm going to kind of do it as like maybe a couple weeks in a single vlog, so you can see how it is throughout, you know, like a couple of weeks rather than like 1 week, because sometimes I have some pretty boring weeks and I don't want it to be a boring vlog. So if you want to see those, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about that idea. But if you want to hang out with me when I'm not on YouTube, you can follow me on Snapchat at Alex_Underwood and on Twitter and Instagram at Alex with 2 X's 2017. Don't forget that second X, because if you do, you won't be able to find me. And you guys can also look me up on my website, which will always be linked down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, and share so your friends can come join the Alien family and learn how to do these fun looks too. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one. Bye, my aliens.